not putting money down, those are all factors that really will be the balance, can definitely be greater than the car value. And if you have an accident and you got totaled, you got a difference between the two? It either comes out of your pocket or it comes out of gas insurance. And not a lot of people are aware of that.
Correct. You can also add gap on to these vehicles.
Yes. Because on these vehicles, generally, you don't put any money down. So it's very probable that that balance is going to be greater than the value in the car. Connie, well, you've been in banking, Gracie, you've been in banking. I'm sure over the years, you've had people say, you know, the insurance company won't pay off an entire balance. And Connie?
I'm fine, yeah.
There you go. But not everybody knows the bike gap coverage. There you go. So it is just something, I think this is one that's why I wanted to reinforce gap. I mean, most of us have heard about liability, comprehensive. Not that that's not important, but I think gap is a good thing to be aware of. The other thing, and I had this question posed to me by a customer about a week or so ago, is the minimum insurance requirement. Now, New Hampshire is not required to have insurance, but when you're financing a vehicle and you need that coverage, you have to have a certain amount of coverage.
Correct. The state minimum limits are $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. Again, if you're a homeowner, you've got equity built into your house, it's not something I would ever recommend you consider.
What do you consider now?
If you're a homeowner, you have retirement accounts, you have savings accounts, anything that can be liquidated in the event you're not carrying enough, minimum of $100,000 per person, $100,000 per accident. And actually nowadays, the difference between that and $250,000, $500,000 is, maybe $50 a year. So definitely, I mean, go as high as, everybody says, well, I don't want to be out insurance. But again, it's kind of all depends on what do you have that you don't have enough insurance company to take away from you.
Now, we have some senior citizens here that may be not homeowners now. Maybe, I don't know. But you might have a pension. You might have 401k. You might have some investments. Doesn't mean that you just have to be, they're going to go after an asset. And it's just important, I just want to point out,
It's definitely.
to have that protection.
It's definitely. If you sold your house, money's sitting in the bank account and the savings account, they can take it. It just all depends on the severity of the accident and how much damage is done.
On me? Does anybody have any questions? Great.
About the vacation rental or auto rental, Bradley. You say that you have an accident, the car is disabled for a few days, and you owe the money to the rental company for their loss of income with the car. Is that covered under your auto insurance?
No. I mean, if you call and you ask an agent, they're going to say, yeah, there are gray areas. So you're really left with, I have to spend $12, $20 a day. Like I said, a lot of it is you need credit cards. What you do is automated credit cards, something called CDW, which is credit insurance. And as long as you're using the credit card, they will pick that up.
So that is covering that loss of use credit.
Yep.
Because I would assume that the auto insurance policy will cover the damages.
They'll cover the common, the collision, yeah. But not the loss of rental or collision.
Yes. Florida has no-fault insurance. Can you explain how that works, or does it work for you? Is it assumed that because you're involved with the accident, even if you didn't have nothing to do with the cause?
Well,
The two drivers-
Massachusetts has no fault. And I'm not a Massachusetts agent. I've done a little bit of study on it. What it basically means is if somebody hits you, and it's a no-fault state unless you are grossly negligent, which would be drunk driving, driving under drugs, driving to endanger, their insurance is not going to pay you. they're gonna pay, their company's gonna take care of them and their injuries, and your company's going to take care of you.
So, I was recently involved in an accident. I was rear-ended on Highway 41 in Florida. And all that the police said was that just, usually the two insurance companies duke it out. Well, that concerned me because I had absolutely nothing to do. I stopped the person who rear-ended me. So I said to the policeman, I said, well, does it clearly state on the report that I was hit? There was not, I had no fault. He said, oh, don't worry about it, your insurance companies will duke it out. I mean, okay.
I mean, that's the other thing, if you're involved in an accident, and if you're clearly at fault, you know, that's one thing. Two people back into each other in a parking lot. What I always tell my customers, my members, don't come out of the car and say, it's my fault, because under the terms of the insurance, it says that you have to allow the insurance company to investigate. So, you know, get out, be respectful, I mean, give them your, give them your name, address, license number. That's up to the police. You don't have to give a general person and your insurance information, and let the two companies figure it out. Even the police department, like I can read motor vehicles, and I'll see an accident, Manchester, New Hampshire, 2 cars. They don't clearly say who's at fault, so we have to kind of go back to the company and say, okay, so you paid a claim on this date. You know, what happened?
Will, do the insurance companies look at the police report?
Yes, every company in a claim will get a police report, because sometimes, because if your accident is less than $1,000, you don't have to call the police.
I'm going to just take a moment. This is Glenn Strong, and Glenn Strong is an employee of ours. He's the manager for the body shop. And how many years experience?
I've got like 40 years experience.
So we might have a little input on that.
A little input. People panic when they get no fault. Basically, all no fault is saying is your insurance company's going to cover you, okay? They're going to subrogate if the other person's at fault with them afterwards. And it could be 2 years down the line before they come up with an equal decision on who's at fault and so forth. So don't let the no fault scare you. If you've got plenty of insurance in your car, and medical insurance, you're covered through your insurance, and let them deal with it afterwards. The only thing that happens sometimes in that case, they'll make you pay your deductible. So if you're at $250 deductible, you may not pay a $250 deductible. You may not see it back for a year or whatever. But that's what happens with no fault.
Yeah, some of our insurers have actually waited up to 2 years, and all of a sudden they get a check, and they go, why am I getting this check? It's because we were finally successful in getting the money back from the other company.
And it's a case where they actually sit down and they arbitrate, and they look at where the damage is on the vehicle. The damage was behind your front door, okay? So obviously you were right most times, okay? You're going to traffic, somebody on a side street, so they look at all those things. They have programs that they analyze it and stuff and say. So don't let it no fault scare you. We get people getting accidents in Massachusetts, make them up all the time, and just in a mass panic, okay? No fault, no fault. You know, he's at fault. They'll find it at fault eventually. It just takes a little longer. But you're dealing directly with your insurance company, you're not dealing with another insurance company. You should be feeling comfortable. You got AAA insurance, you deal with her all the time. You got to feel real comfortable dealing with that person, not a stranger or any other one. So it's not a bad thing. And for the gap insurance that she was talking about, I see more and more people with a total loss now that are upside down in vehicles, especially young college people, young married people, don't have a lot of money to put down in their cars. The value of the car will be $14,000, almost $16,000. And in some cases, they walk away and they get another car and the payment's less and they get a new car. So it works out good for them. So, yeah, insurance is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. So anybody else?
My occasional driver